Take rock and roll racing, inject it with Saturday morning sugar, and strap the result onto a Harley rocketing across Mode 7. What could possibly go wrong? Look, I know what you're thinking. A cartoon licensed racer from the mid-90s? How quaint. But hear me out before you chuck this rodent-shaped cartridge back into the bargain bin. Biker Mice from Mars is the sort of oddball that makes retro spelunking worth the spelunk. A Konami off-ramp where anthropomorphic mice on turbocharged hogs careen around faux 3D tracks, while a hair metal MIDI riff threatens to fry the aging speakers in your CRT. It is at once bizarre, sentient rodents on motorcycles saving Chicago naturally, criminally underrated because the SNES library was already drowning in all-timers, and brace yourself, secretly fundamental to the combat kart subgenre we pretend started with Mario Kart's lightning bolt. Toss in enough pop culture whiplash to give even Animaniacs a migraine, and suddenly those big-eared bikers deserve a second lap around your nostalgia track. Konami, 1994. The company was riding a pixelated high. Contra 3rd had melted thumbs. Turtles in Time turned pizza into a food group. And Sparkster showed everyone what a jet-packed opossum could do with proper marketing. Amid that golden era noise, Biker Mice from Mars skidded in as part of Konami's Saturday morning initiative. Licensed games that didn't suck. Imagine. Remember, we were still 2 years from Crash Team Racing and 6 from Vigilante 8. The Combat Racer space was basically Ocean's Batman Returns trying to figure out corners. Konami's pitch? What if isometric racing felt like F-Zero Light, but with trash-talking vermin and plasma cannons? It slotted nicely into the tail end of the Mode 7 or Bust Arms race, right when devs were squeezing every last rotational sin out of Nintendo's spinning floor trick. And yes, I can't discuss 1994 without the memory of Blockbuster's Game Pass haunting my wallet. This cartridge was perpetually out because some proto-influencer realized it was rock and roll racing minus the Blizzard tax. On the surface, BMFM, acronym obligatory merch pending, is an isometric racer. 3 laps, 6 racers, grab the boost pads, avoid the lava trench. But let's peel back the cheese rind. Momentum model. The controls fuse Super Off-Road's fishtailing drift to F-Zero's shoulder button nudges. Every jump is a gamble. Overshoot the apex and you'll respawn slower than a Neo Geo loading screen. Combat, missiles, buzzsaws, and mines abound. It's what your inner 8-year-old thought Mario's banana peels should do. Aye, explode. Each character's signature weapon feels tuned. Vinny's miniguns chew through shields like they were printed on NES cart plastic, while Moto's torpedoes arc just enough to make you think you calculated the shot. Economy loot: between races, you hit the parts shop to upgrade engines, armor, or buy a one-use nuke boost trademark. The UI looks like a late-night infomercial for American Chopper's rejected props, but it anchors the one more race hook. Picture all that colliding with a Top Gear soundtrack on energy drinks. The result is a game where I cackle, lose, and immediately cue another GP because, of course, the rival AI just trash-talked my puny Earth reflexes. Konami's localization team deserved overtime. And then there's the boss race after every cup. Yes, boss race. Instead of a credits crawl, you square off against a single gargantuan hover tank piloted by Lawrence Limburger, a corporate toad in purple pinstripes. The fight is 30% racing line, 70% desperately praying your last stash of hyper tires outmaneuvers homing cheese missiles. It's more Mega Man X than Nigel Mansell, which is precisely why it rules. Did Biker Mice torch the sales charts? Number It launched into a holiday season dominated by Donkey Kong Country's Silicon Bananas. But like that weird side quest you skip until New Game Plus, its DNA trickled onward. Personality-driven combat racing. Before Twisted Metal made clowns and ice cream trucks couture, BMFM proved character quips and custom loadouts deepen buy-in. Isometric fake 3D holdouts. The SNES would soon drown under PS1's true polygons, yet Konami squeezed so much nuance from Mode 7 that indie devs see Blazing Chrome's devlog cite it when explaining stylized perspective choices. Cartoon synergy. It's easy to scoff, but BMFM's TV game cross-pollination foreshadowed Ben 10 and Teen Titans Go interactive tie-ins, where the game writers riff alongside showrunners instead of churning out flavorless asset flips. So why the obscurity? A perfect storm, waning cartoon ratings, a late-gen cartridge price that could buy you half a Sega CD, and zero North American marketing push outside a Toys R Us end cap. Even Konami's own PR seemed too busy counting NBA Jam royalties from Run and Gun to notice the biker gang squealing at the back of the release slate. BMFM became the classic, "Wait, that was Konami?" trivia answer. I break out at retro panels just to watch eyebrows hit orbit. And that, comrades of the cartridge, is why Biker Mice from Mars deserves a pit stop in your next retro showcase. It's the game equivalent of finding a lost mixtape in your Walkman, rough edges, bombastic riffs, and a production value that says, "We had fun, deal with it." If Disney can resurrect Darkwing Duck cameos on a whim, surely someone can license these rodents onto Switch Online. Until then, fire up the Super NT, crank whatever hair metal playlist Spotify thinks is motor rodent adjacent. And remember, in the immortal words of Throttle, Cheez It Bros, this track bites back.